It's now 9 o'clock a.m. and we're going to get started with the meeting. The monthly meeting of the Fairfield Glade Community Club Board of Directors will come to order. This morning's meeting is open to all members of the community club and is being recorded for viewing on the community club website. We are also live streaming this morning's meeting for member viewing. To honor America, please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silence to remember those who are serving in uniform and those who have been affected by the COVID-19 virus. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Pat, please call the roll of the board members.
Here.
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 Thank you, Pat. First item on the agenda is, may I have a motion to approve the minutes of the prior board meeting held on December 16th, 2021? Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. The minutes of the December 16th, 2021 board meeting are approved. This morning in the audience we have a number of distinguished guests. Our first one is Mayor Foster is here from Cumberland County. Commissioner Joe Sherrill is here from the 6th District, and Colleen Mall, our commissioner from the 9th District, is here. Mayor Foster. Just push it forward, Ellen. There you go.
I hate when they do that when I'm working the sound system at church. That drives me nuts. Sorry about that. Thanks for letting me be here again today. I really do appreciate it. January is typically a slower meeting of the county commission, so there's not as much to report. We do have a few things though. The county approved the road list for the year in January, so we know what is a county road as of now and what is not. So that's done every year in January. We have begun the process of beginning to allocate our ARP funds from the state, or from the federal government, the American Rescue Plan funds. The county got $11.75 million. The first part of that is going to be obligated towards matching funds with TDEC for water and sewer projects and broadband with the Economic and Community Development Department out of the state of Tennessee. We will match any grant that the state approves. Various percentages up to about $3 million total. So that should be another shot in the arm for broadband. I noticed that Ben Lohman is going to be pursuing a Reconnect grant out here for the portion that doesn't have very good service, and that's also a very positive thing. We've had very many meetings with them. Big thing as of January, at least for me, animal control was transferred to the Sheriff's Department from the County Mayor's Department. And it's not good for me just because I get fewer calls, but it's also good for the animals and animal welfare because the people that work there in animal control will actually have more authority now. There'll be special officers, and plus this gives the sheriff another deputy that is dedicated to the animals there too. COVID-19, you've probably seen the numbers. As of yesterday, the state's only doing a report weekly now. There were 1,267 active cases, which is, I believe, probably a high. That's the high that I recall. And there have been 289 cumulative deaths since this started. The good news is that at CMC, there are 17 people in the hospital right now. So normally with other variants, that has been much higher than right now. So 1,267 cases and 17 in CMC. So that is a good, it's not good, but it could be much worse if With the Omicron, it does seem, I read this morning, that it looks like it is definitely milder, and we're hopefully around the peak stage, and maybe about to drop is what they're predicting now. So that's where we stand with that. Quick note about our Cumberland County Fair. Have y'all been to our fair? Mm-hmm. It won yet again the AAA Division Fair of the Year this time. It was great. I was at a ceremony for that, and come to find out, they've done this quite a few times. They have won it in 1977, 1990, 1995, 2000, 2004, 2010, 2016, 2017, and 2021. So if you go to our fair, you are seeing an award-winning fair. They've also been champion of champion 4 times. So for a small community competing against the big guys in the AAA, it's great. Last real quick thing I want to say, I'm out in Upper Cumberland a lot, not just in Cumberland County, talking to mayors, and they ask me a lot, what about that Fairfield group? What do you think about them up there? And I tell them, I say, they're exactly like everybody else. They're just living their life, just like we all are. They just talk funny. They just talk a little different. And I tell them that a lot. And so I know a lot of us in this room have been working to kind of break down those walls and those barriers somewhere there on Peavine Road that seems to be a disconnect. And we've been working on that diligently for years. And I just wanted to say thank you to the commissioners that held the redistricting committee here Tuesday. That was an awesome meeting. If you missed it, you really missed something good. Really good communication. 5 of the 6 commissioners were here that would be representing parts of Fairfield, and the reason the 6th wasn't here is he had COVID. So it was a really great meeting, and just wanted to thank everybody involved in putting that on. So that's all I have. If there are any questions, I'd be willing to answer them. Sorry I took a little long there, Ken. Yeah.
When's an upcoming election for the commissioners, and do they do all the commissioners at the same time?
All commissioners are elected at once, and the commissioners are elected in August. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Joe, did you want to comment at all on the meeting that they had after the commissioners' meeting that was out that dealt with Flat Rock?
Hi, good morning. I was going to mention that we had another town hall meeting over in the Pineview area to discuss, to listen to Rusty Biddle and his group talk about the Flat Rock. It went very well, and there was actually a number of Fairfield people in the audience, so thank you. So we were pleased for the group. The Flat Rock is going to be a lot of fun down the road with people enjoying it, and so well attended, and we look forward to it. So if anybody's got questions on it, Mr. Biddle will have a website, and we're more than glad to try to facilitate those questions back to them if you'll just let us know. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. I'd also like to thank Colleen for orchestrating the meeting on Tuesday for the county commissioners. It was a very good meeting, well attended, and I think it helped explain the redistricting process very well. So thanks, Colleen, for the work you did on that. Okay, now I'd like to share some comments from across the board. We want to begin this month's Across the Board message with our sincere wishes to everyone in our Fairfield Glade family for a happy and healthy new year. As we look forward to the beginning of a new year, many of us will once again feel a sense of renewed optimism. We'll have a sense that better days are ahead and that the future is bright. And we all share that optimism and look forward to what lies ahead in 2022. We know we will face continued challenges, and the road ahead may have a bump or two, but we remain cautiously optimistic that better times and brighter days are ahead. Despite the ongoing coronavirus variant concerns, the expected supply chain delays, and the very real concern over rising prices, we are optimistic that 2022 will be a much better year than 2021, and with a return to some level of normalcy in the near future. As we mentioned last month, we finished 2021 with a very strong financial performance, allowing the community club to add additional funds to our reserve balances for future projects and rainy days, as well as paying off the center loan this spring. As we look forward to 2022, we are cautiously optimistic that we will be able to maintain our current financial performance trends. We are, however, well aware that the uncertainties associated with unpredictable interruptions in the global supply chain will more than likely result in a negative impact on both the availability of certain goods and services, as well as increasing the cost of the goods and services that are available. Furthermore, we expect the current conditions in the labor market will persist well into 2022, resulting in a need to increase our focus and expenses associated with recruiting and retaining high-quality members for our community club team. We have heard the comments from many of our members expressing the desire to have a variety of dining options. This winter, we are trying a number of different approaches with some new dining options using both the Stonehenge Grill and the Center. At Stonehenge Grill, we have introduced a Sunday brunch from 8 to 1, and we have gone back to our regular a la carte menu after 2 p.m. on Sundays, given the low activity levels and comments from our members. Theme nights like Italian night and steak night have been offered on Monday evenings from 4 to 8. We also held a Christmas brunch at the Center on December 19th and a New Year's Eve dinner at the Stonehenge Grill. Other special events like Super Bowl, Easter Sunday, and Mother's Day will be provided by our Stonehenge Grill team, either at the Center or at Stonehenge Grill. Recently, we distributed a message from Ben Lomond Connect with information regarding their effort to apply for a federal grant to expand high-speed broadband access in Fairfield Glade. The Community Club Board of Directors believes that expanded access to high-speed broadband is critical for our members, and we strongly support this effort. Your participation in the grant application process is completely voluntary. There are a number of important facts that the Board of Directors would like to stress. The Community Club does not have a financial relationship with Ben Lomond Connect, nor is the Community Club receiving any financial compensation for informing our members of this effort by Ben Lomond Connect. The Community Club will have no access to the information collected. All information collected as part of the broadband user survey is between the user and Ben Lomond Connect. Now, there's no guarantee that this effort will be successful, and any information on the status of the application process should be directed to Ben Lomond. Should Ben Lomond be successful in receiving the grant, the fiber optic network will be installed at no cost to the Community Club, and it would be up to each individual property owner to decide if they want to subscribe to the high-speed broadband service. Any questions or comments regarding the grant application process, the broadband user survey and its results, or the submission of the grant application support letters should be directed to Ben Lomond at communitysupport@benlomond.net. Now, here are some updates on our major capital projects. Construction on the Racket Center renovation project has been completed. This spring, we will move the parking lot utilities underground, add parking lot lights, and pave both lots. We are proceeding with the planning for the next phase of the Robin Hood Park expansion project with architect and engineering services for the pavilion with restrooms, bocce courts, and hard service paths. We look forward to these additional community amenities being completed this year. We continue to work with the architect to review alternative renovations to update the Heatherhurst 19th hole area. Once we have received the cost estimates for the alternatives, we'll be able to make a decision on the extent of the renovations. Actual construction will be deferred until the end of the 2022 golf season. The Druid Hills Advanced Planning Team continues to work on the initial planning process to determine what the next Druid Hills clubhouse facility should provide for our growing community. We have scheduled another town hall meeting at the center on January 31st from 2 to 4 to present the results of the existing clubhouse assessment. Members who would like to share additional comments regarding the Druid Hills project can reach out to the Druid Hills Advanced Planning Team by sending email messages to the planning team at druidhillsprojects@fairfieldglade.cc. Information concerning the Druid Hills Advanced Planning Team is also available on the Community Club website. And that is our January update from across the board. The next item on the agenda is the Treasurer's Report.
Good morning. Good morning. There you go. Okay. I would remind you as I go through this that the numbers in parentheses are coordinated with the numbers on the charts that are attached, so you can correlate the two. We had a great year in 2021 from a financial standpoint. In sewer, on the balance sheet, in sewer, we ended 2021 with about $3.9 million of cash compared to about $3 million at the end of 20, and that's a positive change of almost $900,000. For the POA, we started the year with $2.5 million of capital cash. We ended with about $1.4 million, and I'll remind you that the reason is that we paid off the Stonehenge loan, and that's why that capital cash has declined. For operations, we started with $3.7 million of operating cash, ended with $6.3 million of operating cash. So we ended 21 with total cash of $7.7 million compared to $6.3 million at the end of 20, which is a positive variation of $1.4 million. Our cash flow review, the sewer operations had a solid performance for the year with a positive variance to budget of $358,000. It's mostly driven by new home starts, which gives us higher tap fees combined with reduced grinder pump expenditures, partially driven by the supply chain issue and not able to get some parts, and reduced wages and benefits due to open positions that we could not fill. Our net capital income is positive by $425,000 because of increased availability fees from sewer extensions and capacity fees from new home starts. So the increased home starts helps sewer as well as it helps POA. On POA, the results from operation activity is positive, $1.5 million, $1.6 million, positive variance to the budget of about $1.3 million. The main drivers behind those savings and variances are in the assessment and dues area. It's positive $360,000. Assessment dues to operating assessments driven by more billable lots due to lot sales and recovery of bad debt. Wages due to an HR trainer that we did not hire, and a delay in replacing some IT personnel, plus postponing employee training because of COVID. In marketing and events, we were positive $88,000. That's mostly due to increase in play and stay income, reduced wages and benefits from a delay in filling 2 open positions, and reduced spending in external marketing. Public Works was positive $816,000. Wages and benefit savings make up about 23% of that variance due to 2 positions not being filled, combined with related employee benefits and reduction in work hours. Greater home permits increased revenue and decreased in spending for contractor services. Maintenance agreements, bad debt, R&M, and operation supplies also contributed to the savings. The big number that's in there is that we had $650,000 in the budget for road paving. We spent about $100,000, so that $552,000 is part of the positive variance of $816,000. Plus, we had a positive variance of $59,000 in desilting as well. On amenities, results from the operating activities are positive $593,000, which is positive to budget of $738,000. The main drivers behind those were in food and beverage. We were positive $114,000 to budget. Most of those savings are due to the discontinuing of banquets and restaurant events for about $75,000 of the variance. Stonehenge Restaurant accounts for the remaining positive variance of $39,000 due to revenues being higher than expected. Golf was positive $411,000. Positive variation due to the increase in revenue driven by the increased rounds of golf, which were 11,935 rounds above budget. And just in the month of December, it showed the difference in weather from December to January, right? In December, we were positive by 1,707 rounds because typically the weather's not that great in December, and I even got to play golf in December. So December was a good month. January, not so much. So we'll see how that comes out. Marinas were positive, 108,000. The increase in revenues for boat slips and lot storage, pontoon boat rentals, boat stickers, fishing licenses of 98,000, and the remaining savings were in wages, program equipment, R&M, and supplies. The center in recreation was positive 80,000, mostly due from reduced spending in wages and energy saved from, LED lights combined with a positive variance to budget of $30,000 for mini golf and pools. Overall, amenities, POA amenities were positive with a favorable variance of $2 million. Had a great financial year. Anybody have any questions about any of that? Nico?
Are we having any problem collecting the sewer availability as Bruce and his staff put in the sewer extension?
It actually varies. I don't know that we've had a place where we put in a sewer extension that everybody paid, because some of those lots are already in arrears, or some of them we've taken back. So we don't get 100% availability fees, but we get a large percentage of it, yes. Anything else?
Tom,
Okay.
over
Yeah,
here.
Tom.
Bruce, since now the year's over, did we learn anything in terms of how we might be projecting when we do budgets versus how we end up, that we might do differently next year?
Yeah, we're going to, I'm working on, with the FAC and Amy, our Director of Finance, a forecasting tool that we're going to try to improve on our ability to forecast where we are and what we now think the end of the year might look like. So yeah, and I haven't talked through this, Tom, but my goal would be maybe each quarter we give a forecast of where we are at the end of the first quarter, kind of see where we're headed. So yeah, we're working on that. Anything else? While I'm up here, I want to talk to you about each year at the end of the year, we take a look at what projects and or purchases we did not get completed in the previous year for various reasons, and a great example is road paving. We only spent about $100,000. We had $650, so there's $550,000. And using that as an example, we didn't do any road paving in 2020 because of COVID. We only did $100,000 of road paving in 2021. That concerns me from the standpoint of we need to continuously do that every year to keep up with the roads. So what the board will do between now and next month is we'll take a look at all those kind of items, and we will bring back in public, and we will list the things that we think we need to move the money from 21 that we did not get done and increase the budget in 22 so that we can finish those kind of critical things. And I'll guarantee you one of those will be road paving. We will increase the road paving budget, which this year is $650 like it typically is. I'll guarantee you we'll come back with a recommendation to raise that. So the board's going to work on that over this next month, and we'll come back next month at this meeting, and we will list I will stand up here and list all those. In fact, I'll have it attached to this report, and then we'll vote on moving those into 22 and increasing the budget. Any questions about that?
Okay, thanks, Bruce.
Thanks.
The next item on the agenda is the General Manager's report. Bob?
Okay, thank you. With respect to road paving, one of the major reasons we weren't able to get it all done in 2021 is Rogers Group had a lot of state contracts, including Peavine Road. So we were kind of low on the list of priorities for them. So we're definitely going to push this year to get higher on that list and hopefully start that road paving as soon as the asphalt plants are open. So lake desilting, Bruce mentioned that was another one where we didn't accomplish the full scope of 2021. So in fact, they're still here now doing the desilting for 2021, and we'll stay here to also do the 2022 desilting that's in the budget. So with that, we'll save on mobilization cost and what have you. So hope to get that all done here before the spring season. Other items, as Bruce mentioned, great year in terms of golf, 148,000 rounds, and the average rounds per course per day open were 112 compared to 106 in 2019. Again, we used 2019 because 2020 was a COVID year, so not a good comparison. And then lastly, Jeff Houston was named the Tennessee PGA Section Golf Pro of the Year for 2021. So that's a great accomplishment for Jeff, a great honor for him, as well as an honor for Fairfield Glade. In fact, he's only the second pro to win that award from Fairfield Glade, and the last one was in 1991, so 30 years ago. So, yeah, that's... Unfortunately, Jeff's not here today. He's actually down in Florida at the annual PGA show. But I think there is going to be a press release coming out from the Tennessee PGA section, and then we'll make sure that that gets out to everybody. And that is all I have.
Okay, thank you, Bob. Barb, the resort report, please.
Good morning. Total Wyndham guests for 2021 was 60,831. And year-to-date so far is 1,080. It's a slow time for timeshare visitors right now. As far as revenue, the center generated year-to-date 17,586, which is 5%. Racket, 12,792, which is 5%. Dartmoor, 141,196, 47%. St. George, 58,906, which is 29%. Golf, 780,647, which is 11%. And food and beverage, 296,487, which is 20%. So total for 2021 was 1,312,634, which is an average of 14% of like revenue. Thank you.
Thanks, Barb. The next item on the agenda is the Architectural Control Committee report. Sam?
Thank you. The Architectural Controls Committee had a good year as well. Miscellaneous approvals, which are changes to established houses through 2021 was 1,855 compared to 2020, which was 1,721. New homes started for 2021 were 116, and for all of 2020 it was 90. Any questions? Thank you.
No, thanks, Sam. This morning we have no unfinished business. And under new business, I do want to share, we will have a revision to the sewer policy that we will be distributing shortly after the meeting for review and comment by the members. And in that change to the policy will be on the agenda to be considered for approval at the February meeting. And so that will be coming out in an email message here in the next couple of days. We also have some purchase requisitions this morning to consider. And the first one is a Ford E250 van for facilities maintenance in the amount of $48,000.
Thank you. This is, as Ken said, for an Ford E250 van for building maintenance. The purchase price or the budget amount is $48,000. I'm asking for this PR to be approved so it'll allow us to look for a vehicle that would fit our needs, not to exceed that budget price. I'm actively looking right now, but if anybody's tried to purchase a vehicle of late, especially a commercial truck, if you know of one, let me know. But the PR is for the full amount, $48,000.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve that PR?
A motion to approve the PR for the Ford F-250 van, $48,000.
Thank you, John. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Misty. Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The motion is passed. And just let me add, any of you that were here for the December board meeting, once we had approved the 2022 budget, we approved a whole series of PRs for purchases. And that was designed to give the individual managers the opportunity to go ahead and start looking for vehicles or equipment or whatever, so that they could get ahead of the delays that we're seeing for supply chain. And as Sam mentioned, anything that's of commercial nature, the wait time on that is typically several months before you're going to be able to get that. In fact, I think our garbage truck is like about an 8-month delay or something like that to get. So we're trying to be proactive here and allow the managers to go ahead and pre-order that stuff, and we'll hopefully be able to get some of those items in during the calendar year. The next item on the agenda is the 150 golf carts for the Heatherhurst fleet replacement, and Bruce is going to share a saga with you on this.
Yeah, sit back and relax. I have a story to tell. Back, if you remember, when we made the budget presentation and approved the budget, there was $108,000 in that budget for 75 golf carts for Heatherhurst, which is typically what we do. We have 5 golf courses. We buy a set of carts for each golf course on a rotation of every 5 years. So Heatherhurst was going to come up this year, and then it comes up again next year for the second half of that fleet. Well, after passing the budget and getting into it, we actually partnered with a company called Bobby Jones Links out of Atlanta, Georgia, to help us. They manage and or consult with over 23 clubs and POAs across the country, 2 in Tennessee, as a matter of fact. And we wanted to use their purchasing power to see if they could help us reduce some of our costs. So we talked with them about golf carts. And so Jeff went and got, by the way, the $108,000 came from the Tennessee rep of EasyGo for the model TXT golf cart. That's the golf cart we currently have. When we went to Bobby Jones Links after the board meeting and we talked about that, they went to their national rep, and we were informed that they were not going to make the TXT cart anymore, that because of manufacturing issues and a lot of it because of the chip issue that you hear about in automobile vehicles, they have the same issue with golf carts. They have discontinued the TXT model, and they only make the RXV model, which is an upgrade. And so we said, okay, so get us the price on that. And so Jeff went back to his representative and got a price. We went through Bobby Jones Links to get a price from the national rep. And then EasyGo comes back and says to us, well, that's great, but with where we are, you won't get golf carts till the 4th quarter of 22. And normally we get our carts in like the March, April kind of time frame to start the busy golf season. So Jeff and Bob came and said, hey, might make sense if we're not going to get the 22 carts until the 4th quarter, that we might want to look at buying the 23 carts at the same time so that we don't get in a bind for 23, plus by buying additional carts, that kind of bulk carts, we might be able to get a better deal. So went back to Bobby Jones Links again, and Jeff went back to his rep again and said, okay, give us a price on 150 golf carts. So we got that. And then EasyGo says, well, that's great, but you better order them by January 7th. Because if you don't order them by January 7th, you're not going to get any golf carts in 22 at all. It's like, okay, this can't get any worse. But anyway, so I put all that information together, sent it to the board, and said, look, I need your approval so we can go ahead and get these golf carts ordered. Otherwise, we won't get any golf carts in 22. And the board, and I thank them for their quick response, responded positively. They approved the additional purchase through my email. And today we're going to verify that approval. So we went ahead and Jeff placed the order on January 7th. Let me give you some numbers. The local rep gave us a cost for the 150 carts of $297,750. Bobby Jones Links gave us a price of $223,655. That's a savings of $74,000 on golf carts. Now, we also, when we do that, we go out and get quotes from Club Car. Just make sure that we're getting the best price. Club Car's quote for that same amount of golf carts was $261,620, which is about $40,000 more than what the E-Z-Go carts are. So we placed the order with E-Z-Go. The other comment I'll make is the reason we use one of the reasons we use gas carts is we can get a good trade-in value for them. Electric carts, nobody wants them. A lot of people want gas carts. Other golf courses want them, businesses want them, quite frankly, farmers want them. They're easy to sell. The gross price of those golf carts is $771,155. We got a trade-in value of $547,500 for our golf carts, which comes out to the $223,655. That's the story, folks. Is there any questions on the story before I make a motion to approve the, yeah, Nico?
I want to congratulate you and the board for doing a good job.
Oh, thank you, Nico. Okay, with all that, I will make a motion to approve the purchase of 150 golf carts for $223,655.
Is there a second? Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion is passed, and we've approved the purchase of the golf carts in the amount of $223,654. The next item on the agenda is the Fairfield Glade Resident Services Update. Pat Gruet.
No mercy. Good morning, everybody. Nice turnout today for cold weather. Morning to the mayor. I guess he had to leave already, huh? Joe Sherrill and Colleen Mall, our commissioners, the board of directors, and especially Pat Davis. And finally, Rebecca Bohannon from the Glade Sun. I'm going to explain a couple of quick things and then give you a few facts. I don't like to do facts, but it'll just be a brief summary of a brutal year for everybody with that disease. I've forgotten the name of it, conveniently. But anyway, what's happened now, we've had a total reorganization, and I have retired after 10 years, and I'm now serving as an advisory board member, and I will be the liaison, and here's the bad news, between Fairfield Glade Resident Services and the board of directors. I'm like a plague.
Is there any way to intercede about that?
But, and another gentleman by the name of Don Rohrer, who was our president, had to retire due to health reasons, but he will be the liaison with our churches. So this is going to be something to get to do a better job with the community. And I also probably will be helping out, staying in touch with our police chief and police department as we do work hand in hand with our men in blue. Okay, I'm going to give you a few numbers and then take any questions. Volunteers put in 5,300 hours preparing and delivering more than 300 welcome home bags to new residents moving into our community, whether it be a new home or a purchase of an existing home. 47 volunteers in our Way to Go driving program drove over 30,000 miles in 2021, providing 2,036 rides to doctor appointments, delivering prescriptions, grocery store runs, hair appointments, and most importantly, liquor store runs. Critical. A total of 2,056 recorded hours. You know, when you think about it, it's rather amazing, this brutal year that we've had. But we were still up and running and operating, and it was a wonderful, wonderful program, and it's only getting bigger and better. I don't know how many hundreds of thousands we've done since the inception in 2015. But we'll get that for you one of these days. The Vial of Life program, my favorite program, and I harp on this all the time. Our volunteers spent nearly 100 hours putting together and helping to distribute more than 500 kits in 2021. A new program is ready to launch, and it was started by a gentleman right here, Bruce Horn, who's on our wonderful organization as a fundraiser. These kits are designed for the golf courses and tennis courts because we do have periodic issues, and our chief can back me up on it. Once in a while, somebody hits a bad shot, it's and down they go. So we need to have some form of information for the EMTs if they have to come to the tennis courts or the golf courts, and they're going to be handed out. The backbone of FGRS, like we always like to refer to it, the Caring Connections program, which took a real beating because of no in-home visits, et cetera, has totally undergone a total structural redo. And what we're going to try to do is we're going to do a better job with the tougher, more serious issues and referring them to the community or to the right people outside of the community. We lost some volunteers due to COVID, but we're now rebuilding it back. And we have some wonderful people who are going to help us out. In January, we added 3 new board members. Phil Birdsall, former board member here. Jeff Ochoa, who will come in and help us with our IT. And Darla Pendergast, who is going to join us and take over and hopefully run our Caring Connections program. Bottom line is FGRS had an extremely active year when you consider the terrible epidemic that struck this community and the rest of the nation. So we're extremely pleased with what we've done, and we're looking forward to a much better year this year. In closing, just quickly, I'd like to just quickly remind everybody, and I know it's a little early, but it's still good to get it out, put it into your little calendars. On March 9th, which is a Wednesday, there will be a town hall with the mayor from 3 to 4:30. And on April 11th, at the center, John Rose will be here from 3 to 4:30 to do a town hall. He's your state congressman. And these are 2 important things to remember. And FGRS, not only are we here to help our residents who are in crisis or whatever it may be, but it's to talk about and help the rest of the community too. Police department, fire department. So what we'd like you to do is stop by, if you have the time, at our office down next to Benchmark in that little strip mall. Come on in and look, see what we have to offer, and maybe you could volunteer. We're always looking for new drivers, and we're looking for people to help us out in some areas. And volunteers are the lifeblood of the organization. Without volunteers, hospice wouldn't exist, Rotary wouldn't, Lions, nothing. Unless you have the membership and the volunteers, you can forget about it. And we're blessed with wonderful volunteers here in this community. We really are. I think that's it. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you.
Pat, we're kind of disappointed there was no joke today.
Pardon me?
You didn't have a joke for us today.
Well, actually, I did, but
Okay,
all right.
that's all right. We can
Well,
wait.
I got booed the last time.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I'm very sensitive. Actually, this is for the husbands in the group. And we need it, boys. Okay, husbands. Laughing at your own mistakes lengthens your life. Laughing at your wife's mistakes shortens it. Think about that. That's it.
All right, thank you, Pat.
All right.
Okay, at this time, we'll open the floor for comments, and anyone that wants to make comments, please limit your comments to no more than 3 minutes in length. Does anybody want to make any comments?
Tom Ratcliffe, 157 Devonshire Drive. First of all, Pat, thank you for all you've done and continue to do. I have a document request, that I did a few of those this month, and Ken, with your permission, I'd just like to have them as part of the minutes of the meeting. I have some document requests that I had made this past month that I'd like to have as part of the minutes of the meeting, as well as the response that I had. Is that appropriate?
All right, go ahead and bring this up. Pat, we'll take a look at these. Watch the cord down there.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks, Ken.
Okay.
One other quick point. Monday, just to share with the members, Monday I had the opportunity, Ken was gracious enough to meet with me, and we had some great discussion. Didn't have the 3-minute rule. Ken might have wanted to invoke that. I might have wanted to invoke it at several points, but the bottom line was we had some very candid, some great dialogue, a lot of listening on his part, a lot of listening on my part, and at the end of the day, I think what it represented to me anyways was that's what it takes. That's what these meetings are about and so forth. It's dialogue, it's going back and forth, asking questions, getting answers for those questions. It helps take in a broadened perspective. And I was very appreciative of Ken's time and felt it was beneficial for me to invest that time as well. And I just think that, you know, the more we can do that, the better off we'll be. We walked away, we had, in that dialogue, we had some heated discussion, we had comments that basically, you know, I might not have liked, Ken might not have liked, back and forth. But I think when we left, we understood that we both had the same goal, that we wanted to see Fairfield Glade being a better place in the future, and how lucky we are to be in a country where we can have that type of debate. So thanks for your time.
Okay, thank you, Tom. Do I have any comments from members of the board? Oh, I'm sorry, Pat, you want to talk again?
I don't know if I'm sure most of you did read the article about the clean water going into our wastewater treatment plant. I just want to urge our membership to please, if you do have that hookup illegally in your home, correct it immediately, or if you know somebody that has it, call Bruce Evans down at the wastewater treatment plant and let them know. It's critical because as we're growing, there's going to be bigger and bigger requirements put on that plant. And it's hard to believe that fresh water is the mortal enemy of the sewer system, but it is. So please, if you see somebody or know something, do let Bruce know, and they'll go in and unhook it. That's it.
Okay, thanks, Pat. Comments from members of the board?
Yes, I'm going to just amplify a little bit what Ken talked about in his across the board. We do have scheduled another town meeting on the Druid Hills project for Monday from 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock p.m. here at the center. We encourage you to come. The emphasis of the meeting will be on the independent assessment that we have received on the condition of the current clubhouse. The planning committee has always said that before we made any decisions, we needed to know what the current standing was of the current clubhouse. So we're going to go through that in some level of detail on Monday. That's going to be the major emphasis of that meeting. If you can't be there, we're going to be streaming it live, and if the time is bad, we're going to have it recorded. So one of those three ways you can certainly get the information, and we encourage you to come on Monday, 2 to 4 here at the center.
Okay, thanks, Greg. Any other comments from members of the board? Then at this time, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. So moved. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Motion to adjourn has passed. We stand adjourned.
If I could have your attention real quick, you may want